what we try to do here. So yeah, all right. So I was thinking if what is this slide about? How does it capture what we're going to talk about today? So imagine that, it's kind of the dead of winter, like January, early February, and 2 o'clock in the morning, you wake up and it's like super cold at home, right? It's 5 degrees, and you're going, what? And you kind of 2 o'clock in the morning, and you listen, like the furnace is going nonstop. It's on, so it's like electricity is on. So what's wrong, right? And you could say that at that point you're in a bit of a hole, metaphorical, right? Something went wrong, and you go down to the furnace room, and what happens is that the uh, duct that feeds all the vents, right, came off, and it's broken. So what do? Like, everybody has duct tape, right?
Call Dave Davies.
At 2 in the morning?
Absolutely.
Really? Okay. Yeah, and they'll come at 2 in the morning?
Sure.
Wow, okay.
Pay for it.
Yeah.
It's not the
Well,
point.
Sorry, what's that? But let's say you don't want to do that, right? And you go, oh, you know what, like, I can fix this. So that's the duct tape, right? And duct tape is the crisis plan. So that's our first tool. And as we said, it's not going to permanently fix, your problem, but at least it'll get you through the night until, the morning, where you call Dave Davis and you're going to pay less than in the middle of the night, right? And so then what happens is that, when the workwoman comes to fix your things, she comes with all her tools and her skills, right? And her strategies. And then it's more of a permanent fix. So that's a reminder. What we're going to do today is we're really practicing the duct tape approach, which is the crisis plans. And a lot of people, they kind of say, well, this doesn't really work that well. Well, duct tape doesn't permanently fix things, but it can get you out of the hole. It can kind of like get the heat back in your house until the morning. It's a temporary fix. Now, today, we're going to practice with Chris. We're going to do, we met last Wednesday after the group, and we're going to practice doing a crisis plan so that people get an idea of what it's like, so you can do your own, right? The goal here is that you guys all do your own, sort of duct tape approach, so you can kind of fix things on the go, sort of quick and dirty. But we're also going to start talking about the other tools. So the other tools are they're more skilled. They're more like permanent fixes, right? And what we start with is the second tool is called the hose diary card. And the hose diary card is a little bit like a tool belt. So if you have a tool belt, you carry all the tools with you. You can organize them well. If you're a workman, you don't have a tool belt, your tools are all over the place, right? And so if you don't, probably every workman has a tool belt, or work person, yeah, has a tool belt. It facilitates things a lot. And so you'll see when we introduce the hose diary card, this is something that's so important to do this. And it's something that doesn't take a long time. So you can kind of really put it on fast once you have one. Doesn't take that long to put on. So the hose diary card isn't going to take very long to use. But if you don't use it, it's going to be very hard to manage all the other tools because they're going to be all laying about. Okay. And so the other thing is Joan and Nicole. So we're going to do the practice with Chris. And then after that, I'm going to introduce the second tool. That's like a quick one, because as you'll see, it does a lot of the things that the crisis plan does, except it does it better. And it does it in more detail. So all the tools from now on do a lot of what, the duct tape, the crisis plans do, but they do it a lot better, right? But they're doing sort of the same thing. So you'll see that, oh yeah, that reminds me of crisis plans. It will remind you, but it'll be a lot better. And so gonna do that, introduce the second tool, which is the Oles Diary card. And then Joan and Nicole, they're going to talk about a few more of the stress tolerance skills. And one way to think, following this metaphor, one way to think of the stress tolerance skills is like how to use the duct tape skillfully, right? Because if you don't know, even duct tape, you have to know how to use it. Because if you know how to use it, it gets all wrapped up in your fingers, and how do you cut it? So that's what the stress tolerance skills is, using the duct tape to the best of your ability, right? So putting it together with the crisis plans and using that duct tape as well as you can. Okay, so that's the plan for the rest of the day. And so as you see there, we're in week 5, and that just says, what we're going to cover. So I did that already. And so today will be our first practice with Chris. We're going to do crisis plans. And next week, we're actually going to have another practice with Bart. We're going to meet today after, and we're going to practice the Oles Diary cards. Okay, so some reminders.
So just highlighting to keep your comments, questions, and feedback relatively brief so that everyone has a chance to participate. One breath sharing. Last week, we learned some distress tolerance skills, and you can start using them in your crisis plan. Your crisis plan is something you should be working on when you're calm and alert, not when you're in crisis. And you can practice the strategies you've chosen from the distress tolerance skills. You don't have to do all of them. There's going to be, is it 28? There's a lot. You don't have to do all of them. You can pick 2 or 3 that really resonate with you and practice them so that they come naturally and you can use them in a crisis.
And this was the homework from last week. I'm just trying to see, oh, there. Just trying to make that disappear. All right. We won't go over that, but that was the homework for this week. And I think we will just read the homework for the coming week. Give you a chance, if you don't have access to the website, give you a chance to also take a picture of it.
So submit your questions and comments to the email address. We're going to read Simple Manual Session 8. That's in the gray manual. Find your targets and start using your diary card, which we will discuss today. Use all of your distress tolerance skills to finish 1 or more crisis plans. Use the editing, splicing, and pasting, and practice them in your imagination. And keep track and practice all of the skills you're learning using the DBT diary card or your own skills list.
Give it down.
Sure. So Roger, the custodian here at the church, asked us to kindly bring our indoor footwear and leave our outdoor shoes or boots under the bench at the entrance, now that it's starting to get a bit messy outside.
Yeah, or if you come to this door, we'll try to, sorry?
We'll get a mat.
Well, we'll try to get a mat to put it here. You see the floor here, it's very slippery, so if it gets wet, don't want anybody kind of falling. So, sorry? Okay. All right. So, yeah, this is about the Boyne Group. The Boyne Group started this past Monday. I thought it went well. Anybody here came to the Boyne Group? No, a few people. Yeah. Did you guys think it went okay? Yeah. So there were 14 people. I think there were 8 in person and then 6 on Zoom. And what we did was we prepared a crisis plan for Carolyn. And that was like unrehearsed before. So we just, and I think we got through it. So our hope is that seeing examples of how crisis plans are prepared will help you to prepare your own. That's why we do these practices, right? The idea is for you guys to we're going to have I think probably next week, we're going to have a poll question just to get a sense, because we asked how many people had crisis plans before. We're going to repeat that, see how many people have crisis plans. We're trying to get that number up because it's a really good tool. Now this coming Monday, November 3rd, so next point group, probably we're going to focus on diary cards and finding your targets. That's always a little bit challenging for people. And if you plan to attend a Monday group and you'd like to figure out your targets, so right now you're kind of going, well, what are targets? But we're going to that's what we're going to talk about today, right? If you'd like to figure out your targets for your diary card and you don't mind, there's fewer people, right? So if you don't mind just doing in front of the group, then, email us or email me, and we can probably do more than one person because it doesn't take as long to do finding targets for the whole diary card as it does doing the whole crisis plan. Okay, and if we have enough people interested in preparing a sensory soothing toolkit or crafting a personal dashboard, we can also do that. And the way you can let us know is by emailing us. Say, yeah, I'd like to do, either the sensory soothing toolkit, or I'd like to do the personal dashboard. And then what we'll do, we'll invite Joan or Nicole or both this coming Monday. But if we don't hear from people, we'll just focus on the doing the whole diary card and finding the targets. If there's anything else that you'd like to talk about in the Boyne group and you plan to come, send us the questions ahead of time. You can do it on the spot on the Monday, but if you do it ahead of time, it gives us a chance to prepare a little bit more and to think about it. Okay, so it's helpful for us. Okay, shall we do this?
This is the results from last week's in-person poll. Question 1, I have suicidal thoughts. A, never was 45%, occasionally was 40%, often was 10%, and all of the time was 5%. Number 2, I have attempted suicide. A, never was 65%, 1 or 2 times in my life, 30%, more than 2 times, 5%. Question 3, I've self-harmed without suicidal intent, which includes cutting or scratching, burning, hitting or punching objects or oneself, severe skin picking, taking small overdoses, starving oneself or extreme exercise, intentionally exposing self to extreme cold or heat. A was never 40%, occasionally was 50%, often 5%, very often 5%.
I have a plan.
I have a plan to deal with my suicidal and self-harming thoughts. Yes, 55%, no, 35%, and not applicable, 10%.
Oops. Okay. So, yeah, so we're going to do our mindfulness exercise.
Check in regularly with your personal dashboard. So spend a few moments checking in with yourself by asking, what is the current risk that I'll experience a state of crisis? Low, moderate, high, very high, extreme? Am I in the window of tolerance? Yes. I'm a little outside. I'm very outside. What state of activation am I mostly in at the moment? Calm, fight, flight, dissociated, depressed? And where is my energy tank right now? Full, 3/4, half, or near empty?
So just take a few moments to reflect on that. Check in with yourself before we do our mindfulness exercise. All right. And then if you want to go to the next screen, just press that.
To begin, sit in a comfortable chair with your feet flat on the floor and your hands resting on the arms of the chair or in your lap. Close your eyes. Take a slow, long breath in through your nose. Feel your belly expand like a balloon as you breathe in. Hold it for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then release it slowly through your mouth. Feel your belly collapse like a balloon losing its air. Again, take a slow, long breath in through your nose and feel your stomach expand. Hold it for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then exhale slowly through your mouth. One more time. Take a slow, long breath in through your nose and feel your stomach expand. Hold it for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then exhale slowly through your mouth. Now begin to take slow, long breaths without holding them, and continue to breathe smoothly for the rest of this exercise. No. Now, with your eyes still closed, imagine that a white beam of light shines down from the sky like a bright laser and lands on the very top of your head. Notice how warm and soothing the light makes you feel. This could be a light from God, the universe, or whatever power makes you feel comfortable. As you continue to breathe smoothly, taking slow, long breaths, notice how the light makes you feel more and more relaxed as it continues to shine on the top of your head. Now, slowly, the warm white light begins to spread over the top of your head like soothing water, and as it does, the light begins to loosen any muscle tension that you're feeling on the top of your head. Slowly, the light begins to slide down your body, and as it moves across your forehead, all the muscle tension there is released. Then the white light continues down past your ears, the back of your head, your eyes, nose, mouth, and chin, and it continues to release any tension you're holding there. Notice how pleasantly warm your forehead feels. Now, slowly imagine that the light begins to move down your neck and over your shoulders, releasing any muscle tension. Then the light slowly proceeds down both of your arms and the front and back of your torso. Feel the muscles in your upper and lower back release. Notice the soothing sensation of the white light as it moves across your chest and stomach. Feel the muscles in your arms release as the light moves down your forearms and then across both sides of your hands to your fingertips. Now notice the light moving down through your pelvis and buttocks and feel the tension being released. Again, feel the light move like soothing water across your upper and lower legs until it spreads across both the upper and lower surfaces of your feet. Feel all of the tension leaving the muscles of your body as the white light makes your body feel warm and relaxed. Continue to notice how peaceful and calm you feel as you continue to take slow, long, smooth breaths. Word relax as you exhale. Slowly inhale and think. Breathe in. Slowly exhale and think. Relax. As you do, notice your entire body feeling relaxed at the same time. Feel all the muscle tension in your body being released as you focus on the word relax. Again, inhale and think. Breathe in. Exhale and think. Relax. Notice your entire body releasing any muscle tension. Again, inhale, breathe in. Exhale, relax. Feel all the tension in your body releasing. Continue breathing and thinking these words at your own pace for several minutes. With each breath, notice how relaxed your entire body feels. When your mind begins to wander, return your focus to the words. Breathe in and relax. Practice the cue-controlled relaxation technique twice a day and record how long it takes you to feel relaxed. With daily practice, this technique should help you relax more quickly each time. Again, remember that the ultimate goal of this technique is to train your entire body to relax simply when you think of your cue word, such as relax. This will only come with regular practice. Initially, you might also have to think of the white light imagery and engage in slow, deep breathing to help yourself relax. But with practice, this technique can help you relax in many distressing situations. You can also combine this exercise with the previous safe place visualization. Engaging in cue-controlled relaxation first will help you feel even more safe and calm in that visualization process. If you closed your eyes, you can now open them and take a moment to return to the room. Look around, notice where you are.
So that's part of what Joan and Nicole are going to cover. So if you're going cue control relaxation, wait, and Joan and Nicole will tell you a lot more about that. Okay. So last week there was a question about could we be clearer about fawning? And I think it's really great that people ask questions because it helps to clarify. So when people ask questions here, I'm just kind of like coming up with stuff. Doesn't give me a chance to kind of look deeper into it and think about it. So if any of the answers don't seem right to you or seem incomplete, yeah, ask for clarification like this person did. So yeah, if you remember last week, one of the questions is fawning, because we talked about the different states of physiological activation: calm, alert, fight or flight, dissociate or freeze, dissociate, depressed, right? And the question was, is fawning one of those physiological states? And so we talked a little bit about that. Let me give you a little bit more of a more complete answer after having some time to kind of look at it. So fawning is not one of the classical physiological threat responses, including fight, flight, freeze, and faint, but it's closely related, often considered a socially mediated survival strategy that arises in the same neurobiological context. Fawning refers to a trauma or stress response characterized by appeasing, placating, or people-pleasing behavior as a way to maintain safety, avoid conflict, or prevent rejection. It's a learned adaptive response, especially in relationships where asserting oneself led to punishment or withdrawal of love. While fawn is a distinct autonomic state, it emerges from the same system that regulates fight, flight, and freeze. Fawning is a socially oriented stress response. Your body is activated, as in fight or flight, but the energy is redirected towards connection-seeking behaviors rather than confrontation or withdrawal. Okay? Fawning and bullying are often linked, though they occupy opposite ends of the social stress spectrum. Understanding that link helps illuminate how both behaviors arise from the same underlying drive to manage threat and preserve belonging. Okay? Both fawning and bullying are responses to perceived threat or insecurity within a social hierarchy. Fawning is a submission strategy. The person has learned, often early in life, that safety or love depends on compliance, pleasing, or self-erasure. When faced with power, conflict, or rejection, they appease to stay safe or accepted. Bullying is a dominant strategy. The person has learned, often also early in life, that controlling or intimidating others restores a sense of safety or power when they themselves feel threatened, humiliated, or powerless. We're going to talk a lot more about this when we talk about attachment. This will make more sense. Both are adaptive strategies to regulate fear and maintain control, just through opposite routes. Fawn says, if I keep you happy, I'll be safe. Whereas bullying says, if I make you afraid, I'll be safe. Let me just get rid of that. So in many relationships or systems, so schools, families, workplaces. Oh, hold on. Somebody turned on unmuted themselves. So if you can mute yourselves on Zoom, otherwise we'll hear an echo. Fawning individuals often become targets. So this is interesting. We're going to talk a lot more about this in the future. So people who use fawning as a strategy, they often become targets of bullying. They attract bullies to them. They don't want to, but they do, which makes them feel like they're repeating patterns from childhood. Because their boundaries are weak and their compliance reduces social resistance, bullies sometimes seek fawning individuals to reaffirm their control and avoid mutual vulnerability. Both roles can alternate. A person may fawn towards those above them, for example, a boss or a parent, and bully those below, siblings or a coworker. As the same pattern cascades down the hierarchy. Both responses tend to emerge from relational trauma or chronic insecurity. A child who had to appease a volatile caregiver develops fawning as a nervous system shortcut to safety. A child who felt powerless or humiliated may develop bullying as a preemptive defense against being hurt again. Both represent adaptations to unsafe attachment systems, one through submission, the other through domination. Recovery from either end of the spectrum involves recognizing the underlying fear, of rejection, loss, or powerlessness, reconnecting to the body to notice arousal before automatic behaviors take over, building boundaries and assertive communication, and finally, cultivating mutuality through relationship based on equality rather than submission or control. I know that's like a lot of words. We're going to cover all of that. It's going to take us like the whole year, but that's all going to come back. Okay. So this is what we're going to do today. We're going to start by preparing a crisis plan with Chris. Then I'm going to talk about how to do a whole diary card and come up with your targets. And then Joan and Nicole are going to continue with the stress skills. And they're going to cover 5 skills today. And then Kate is going to summarize everything for us. Okay. So, yeah, remember, this is crisis plans are duct tape or Swiss Army knife, right? And I'm just, before I do this practice with Chris, I'm just going to remind you, let me grab my book here. Just very quickly remind you, we talked about the strategies and techniques, right? And one is follow the steps. Otherwise, you're going to get lost, like a recipe, all right? Make sure you're in the window of tolerance. Use the editing, splicing, and pasting. So don't try to use this for the next crisis you're in. Use it for the last one, because you have a video. So we're going to do that today. Okay. If you want to follow along, because I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop sharing in a minute, right? We'll be able to see the people who are on Zoom. But if you want to follow along, this is on page of the book. You might also have like just a copy, but it's on page, just trying to find it here. Page 36 and 37 of the great book. Okay, if you want to follow along with us. All right. Okay, so let me stop sharing there. And